What's up, guys? Got a couple of items here that I think might be a little underrated when it comes to a prep item. So today we're going to go over why I think these two things might come in pretty handy. Alright, first we're going to work with the spray bottle, and I'm actually going to take the top off. I'm also going to show you I've been playing in the dirt. Not that it's real dirty, but the point I want to make is, and I'll try to do this where you can see the dog's in just the right spot. I'm going to dump a little water, and I'm going to try to use water as sparingly as possible here while I rinse off my hands. Use a little water. Do that a little bit. Not looking too great so far. Give them another quick rinse. I'm close to ready for a towel. And I actually did pretty well. Didn't use a whole lot of water. Now we're going to repeat all of that, but this time we're going to use the spray nozzle instead. Alright, get down on a knee here. As you can see, back to being dirty. This time we're going to use the spray nozzle and just get a few sprays on there and do the same thing as we did before. Knock some of that off of there. There, try to move up. I'm actually not even trying to go sparingly this time. Not like I was when I was dumping it. I was trying to be as nice as I could. I'll just give a quick spray off. Of course, it doesn't help that I'm getting my bottle itself all dirty, but nonetheless, and there we go. And this time we didn't even use quite half the water, and like I said, I was using that kind of sparing. So first off, I apologize. I know that may not have been the best presentation, but the point I'm trying to make is having that spray bottle around rather than just dumping water out into my hands when I went to wash my hands. Now I use the spray bottle. I didn't even use half the amount of water, and I promise you most people aren't going to be as sparing as I was while washing my hands. Now, why would that be important? Well, I suppose it depends on how much water you've got. If you're out camping and you've only got a handful of gallons of water that you took with you and you're using them for everything, shoot, from what I just saw, I could probably almost take a shower with the contents of that spray bottle. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest shower in the world. You pretty much wet yourself down, grab your soap, lather it up, and it's going to take way more water to get the soap back off you than to just wet yourself down. But if you were comparing that with dumping water on yourself, big difference. So when it comes to using water sparingly, a spray bottle can come in pretty handy. Not to mention, I keep one around all the time anyway. You may notice I have a lot of plants around. I just think they're handy to have. So with that said, we'll move on to the chopsticks and why I think learning how to use those could actually become fairly important. Sorry guys, I know a fire pit's not the optimal place to learn how to use chopsticks, but it's a nice day out. So first things first, if you've never used chopsticks before, I'm sorry, I'm going to be working with one hand here to begin with. But of course, first thing you got to do, break them in half and fling the other one somewhere. So if you've never used them before, and I'll do my best, take the two chopsticks, I got them nice and lined up. First thing is getting them in your hand right. So as you can see right now, I just got them kind of leaning on my middle finger and my thumb holding them tight. But what you're trying to do, and I'm going to use my leg here because I got to use something to push on, but I'm just putting my thumb right in between the two, and then I'm resting each chopstick on my index and middle finger. That way, and I got to get, it's not as easy when I have one hand occupied, but in short, as you can see, and there we go. Now you can just open and close. There, I'll get my hand in there and see, as you can see, I did put a couple of rocks up here. Boy, it's not as easy to do when they're nice and smooth, but as you can see, you just pick your stuff up. Now I know what you're thinking, well, I don't eat Chinese very often, why do I need to learn how to use chopsticks? What you're looking at is two pieces of wood. If you don't have any silverware, let's say for whatever reason you're in a position where you need to cook something, you have something to cook for that matter, but you have no utensils. A couple of sticks, especially if you have a knife on you and you can trim them down, you can make a couple of them. As you can see, they're a little wider on one end than the other. And again, I do need to kind of use something as a reference to get them in my hand right. Usually I use my other hand, and I'm sorry, I can't really do that with the camera in it. But again, now you can not only eat, and I know a lot of people say, well, it's hard to eat certain things with chopsticks, and you're right. You pick up what you're eating in the chunks, and then for the most part, I just kind of close them up, and then if you're scooping things, you just get underneath it. Especially that's why they make their rice so sticky and everything. But I personally think it's a good idea to know how to use these. Even if I were actually in the action of cooking, I can still just use one and stir things up. I just think that chopsticks can be a good thing to learn and know how to use. So, I know these may be considered more unconventional type of prepper tips, but hey, sometimes knowing how to use the simplest of things that you probably have around as it is can come in extremely handy, or just knowing how to make certain things can come in pretty handy. So I hope that helps. And before I go, I just want to take a quick second to let you guys know that if you happen to be on Facebook, you may have noticed that I started a Facebook group. If you have a Facebook and a YouTube channel and you're interested in trying to grow it, maybe look up Rusty's Rambles on Facebook. I'm not real big yet on Facebook or on YouTube, but little by little I'm trying to get there. And with that said, if you could just do me a simple favor of hitting that like button or comment what you think. Let me know. If this is the type of content you guys like seeing, let it me know in the comments, and I'll keep putting this kind of stuff up. Otherwise, I guess I'm just going to leave this here and simply say, hope everybody's doing well, and as usual, I hope to talk to you again soon. Later, guys.